So today we're here at the Fort Lauderdale headquarters of Liquivida, established by the young visionary founder, Sam Tejada. Sam, I'm so excited for you to sit down and talk with us today. Your success story is one of my favorites here in South Florida.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it.
So you started as a firefighter, as a paramedic. Take us back.
I started my career early as a firefighter paramedic here in Broward County with the City of Oakland Park Fire Rescue. I was 20 years old when I started working at the fire department. Working, your typical firefighter shifts, which is working 24 hours on and you're off 48 hours. That type of work allowed me to do other things on my days off. Typically firemen, they'll work 24 hours on and then they're off those 48 hours. And you have two choices. You either can spend a little bit of money that you're getting from the city, or you can find like a side hustle on your days off, working at a hospital, doing some service work, mowing lawns, something else to supplement your income, which obviously I decided to go the other route, in getting involved in some of the health and wellness stuff that I do today.
So Liquivida is such a cutting edge opportunity for people here, not only in South Florida, but your expansion is really national. Tell us about what Liquivida is all about.
So Liquivita, we're a health and wellness company that we specialize on making people feel better and in control of their health. We specialize in IV nutrients therapy, which is basically you're getting vitamins, minerals, and amino acids directly into your bloodstream, versus getting your vitamins orally, where it has to go through your digestive route. Typically, you only get about 30% absorption when you take vitamins by mouth. When you go ahead and get the vitamins intravenously, it goes directly into your bloodstream and you get 100% absorption. Here in Liquivita, besides the vitamin IV therapy, we also offer some of our other services and modalities in the health and wellness space. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of medical aesthetics. We do everything from the Botox and fillers, which a lot of our South Florida people love, and even on a national level. We also offer other type of regenerative medicine therapies, help with pain, recovery of sport injuries and things of that nature. We do medical weight loss, and one of the other parts we do is hormone optimization.
So you told me that peptide therapy and neurotropics changed your life.
Yes, absolutely. So peptides is what a lot of doctors in the functional medicine space would say is the future of medicine. So peptides are an amino acid fragment that basically stimulate your body to do something in particular. So we have peptides for weight loss that help spike up your metabolism. We have peptides that are great for hormones that basically get your body producing its natural hormones versus injecting supplemental hormones. And then we have peptides that are good for cosmetic. And then one of my favorite is the nootropic peptides that help with mental focus, clarity, and just overall brain health.
Liquivida has locations in South Florida, but it's not just in South Florida. Tell us about how many locations you have. How can people find you?
So right now we have a total of 10 locations. We have some locations out of state in Arizona, Connecticut, and also New Jersey. Mm-hmm. We're in the process of putting other locations in multiple other states besides those. We have another 8 locations being built out as we speak, and then about another 20 in the pipeline. Part of our growth is expanding not just nationally, but also internationally, which we're working on a couple deals in Canada to sell the territory there, and some stuff overseas in the Middle East.
And all of this at the age of 34?
34, yeah.
Okay, how did you do it?
So, I started the business with literally $500 in my back pocket. Wow. I started it with $500 in my back pocket, and being on a fireman's salary, it's very difficult to afford to build something like this. So what I ended up doing after a year of starting the business, I started a management company with 5 partners. So my partners consist of finance, accounting, our attorneys are another partner, our chief marketing officer is another equity partner, and then also our chief medical officer. So since day one, we've all been putting a lot of work through sweat equity to build this company and make it what it is today.
I know you're writing a book. And you talked to me about your unique philosophy with I and we. Tell me about that.
Yes, so the book that I'm writing is specific to helping entrepreneurs, CEOs, understand that they're not the only ones that go through the day-to-day business struggle. And one of the things that I hit on that you brought up is how do you really get to the point where you can get through those struggles and be successful? And part of that is, I always say, I have a saying that if you take the I out of ill and replace it with we, it makes it well. So it's all about the we. You got to eliminate the I. So you have to have a team. It's all about having a team for you to be successful. You can't do it on your own. You have to have a team. You have to know how to delegate to your different team members, empower them, and that's where you become a well organization.
But people think it's easy. Take me through a day in the life of Sam Tejada.
Definitely not easy, but it's fun. I enjoy it. The day of Sam Tejada, I wake up in the morning. I have to have my morning coffee. I'm a big fan of doing my bulletproof coffee. And then I take my peptides in the morning, and then I get my day started. The day is a continuous hustle. I work around the clock. That's one thing that I strongly believe a CEO needs to do. You have to be available at nights, on weekends. And I'm not saying not to have work-life balance. You know, you definitely want to give yourself some personal time, but your team depends on you. You're the head of the company. You have to make sure you're available.
So 34 years old, running a multi-million-dollar operation that you started with $500 in your back pocket. What's next?
Well, it's just continue to grow, develop these different markets, bring it to the masses. That's my ultimate goal. You know, a lot of the services and modalities that we offer, for many years, it was only available to the most affluent individuals on this globe. One of my biggest goals is making sure that these type of alternative treatments are readily available to everybody.
Who are some of your mentors in your life?
I have several mentors. From on a personal level, my father was always a mentor. He was a business owner himself. And then I have a lot of business mentors that were, some of them were my patients actually, from when I first got into the business, and they saw what I had and they started just giving me advice. And I would take a little bit from every individual that I looked at as being successful, and just started taking a lot of their information. Basically, I took whatever worked for them and applied it to my life.
So if there was one driving force that you held on to create the success that you did today, what would you say it was?
One driving force, I think this would go to the quote that I go by all the time, which is, you have to inspect what you expect. And I actually got that from one of my business mentors, and I went years always expecting. I'd hire people and I'd always wonder, man, I expect this out of this person, but I'm not getting it. So I remember talking to him one day. I went to go pay him a visit at his home, and I told him, his name's Doug. I said, Doug, I got these expectations, but nothing, no one ever meets them. He says, Sam, that's because you're doing it all wrong. You have to inspect what you expect. And I asked him, I said, what is that all about? He says, you have to have systems and processes in place. You have a salesperson, you got to make sure they're utilizing a CRM so you can go in there and inspect their work. You can't expect them to get where you want them to be without inspecting their work and holding them accountable. And that goes, and I've applied that not just to my business life, but just overall life. You have to inspect what you expect.
So speaking of systems and procedures, obviously you are the product not only of your own hard work, but of Liquivita as well. You're perfectly fit, you're in fantastic shape. How important is working out to the process, and what are the personal things that you do for yourself from Liquivita?
Well, taking care of yourself health-wise is important. Mm-hmm. Health is wealth, right? So Working out is key. You have to put in some time. It's also a form of meditation to me. So I love taking my mountain bike out for an hour, hour and a half, just ride around, being in nature. So it's not just important for your like your blood work type of health. It's very important for your mind, for your brain. You know, it allows you to kind of disconnect.
And Sam, what is your message for young millennials or Gen Z?
So my message is don't feel like you're entitled is the first thing. And work hard, put in your time. Discipline is key. And just keep on pushing forward, especially throughout some of these tough times that we've gone through recently. A lot of people lose motivation, and you just got to keep on motivating yourself. And not only that, but you'll notice if you motivate others, those same others will motivate you back.
Sam, it's been such a pleasure coming here today. Thanks for sharing your house with House of Gab TV.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle.